Hello and welcome to the next part of Danganronpa Another. Last time we started our first investigation of Kyoka's death, and we have quite a theory on what happened.
Yeah. That's putting it lightly.
Yeah.
And Mitch is the most sus, so let's hope he's actually the fucking culprit.
Yeah. Let's see how everything goes. First of all, we have Haru and Teruya we need to talk to.
Ah, Yuki. Sorry for not being much help. I'm trying my best to investigate, but I don't understand anything. What should I do?
Hey, Haru. I have a question for you.
Huh? For me? What is it?
When we were with Kyoka and Satsuki last night, what did you do after getting back from the restroom?
Oh, that? You know that I broke the nameplates, so I just put the new ones back up like Monokuma told me to. You guys were gone by then. It was a bit lonely doing it all by myself, you know?
Is that all?
What's the matter, Yuki? Did I say something wrong? I went straight to bed after putting them back on.
So, the two nameplates that you broke yesterday, did they belong to Kyoka and Tsurugi?
Kyoka and Tsurugi. Yeah, I think so.
I'll be frank here. Since last night, the nameplates on Kyoka and Tsurugi's rooms have been switched.
Switched?
Yeah, Tsurugi said it will be an important piece of evidence. But I couldn't think of anyone else other than you who could have messed with them. And one of the switched nameplates belongs to Kyoka, the victim. Isn't this too much to be a coincidence?
Wait a second. Switched? They're switched? Did I?
What is it, Haru?
It's probably my fault that the nameplates were switched.
So you really did. Why did you switch them? Is it because you're the culprit? Nah.
Nah, Haru's too baby.
No, trust me. Please, I'm innocent.
Again, too baby. Would not be able to hurt a fly.
I think the only type of murder you would be able to commit would be an accidental one.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I can see it.
But I also then can't see him really, not immediately confessing.
Yeah, I feel like he wouldn't even want a trial. He'd just be like, no, I did it.
Yeah.
This is what happened. This is everything that happened. I'm not gonna let you guys die because I fucked up. That's how I see him anyway.
I can see that. Okay, I trust you. So, can you explain why you switched the nameplates around?
Well, actually... I normally don't pay a lot of attention to the dorm rooms.
I mean, to be fair, I also wouldn't really try to remember where the rooms of the others are.
Yeah, I don't think I would care enough, you know? I'd just be like, okay, going back to my room, see you later, I guess. Maybe I'd pay attention to the two, like, next to mine.
Yeah.
But, like, otherwise, like, that's it. And it would be unintentional. I wouldn't be trying to pay attention to it. It would just be like, oh, that's whoever next door. You know?
And it's not like everyone goes to bed at the same time, so...
Yeah.
Would be hard to remember otherwise.
So so it was a bit difficult to see whose room was whose.
It was also late,
Hmm.
so he probably it was definitely an accident. I don't see him doing this on purpose.
I mean, I wasn't sure where Kyoka and Tsurugi's nameplates originally were. Plus, that restroom trip in the middle just kept adding to the confusion. And I didn't want to bother anyone when they've just gone in to sleep. So I put them back based on my vague memory.
Which ended up being wrong, you poor boy.
Yeah, lost the 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
But I must have done it wrong. I'm sorry.
So that's what happened. Alright. I don't know how this connects to the case yet, but it seems like an important clue.
I really didn't know. Don't assume I'm the culprit just because I did it.
Never assume malice when it can be incompetence instead.
The man's... yeah, it's incompetence. I love him, but it's incompetence.
I won't. Thank you for telling me.
Man's is just a slight airhead.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm a sip tea before I voice Teria, Jesus Christ. Okay. Give me the boy. Yuki, what should I do? What should...
Snap out of it, Teruya. We need to uncover the truth.
But how can I walk around like nothing's happened? When someone's dead for real.
Nobody thinks that nothing's happened. We're only putting our feelings aside for something more important. We need to get over that despair.
Even if you say so. My specialty's appraising and selling things, not this kind of job. And it's one of those fields where I screw up a bunch at.
No, there's something that you can do. That's why I came to you in the first place.
Something I can do?
Yeah. Teruya, didn't you visit the antique store pretty often?
The antique store? 'Tis true, I took quite an interest in that place. It has a ton of items of considerable worth. Speaking of that, I think the room looked a bit different this morning from what we used to look before. I'm fucking stuttering.
Really? Are you sure?
I think so. I checked the place when we were looking for Kyoko and Makaru. And the layout of the room was slightly off from normal. I swear to God, I'm fucking up the names and I'm gonna shake myself.
You memorized the whole layout of the room?
What you mean, the whole layout? It's common sense that a product needs to be in the perfect layout to convey its full value to the customers. When I was 6, I learned the hard way how much the layout can influence daily sales.
6.
This man is smarter than he believes himself to be, but
Yeah.
still a bit of an airhead.
If you say so, then it must be true.
Wait, why was the layout suddenly out of place?
About that rope and hook, Teruya, did you see them at the antique store?
Dunno. I didn't look over everything in there yet. But I can say this for sure. The storage didn't have anything like those. I'm positive.
Then the culprit may have gotten the supplies needed for this murder from the antique store.
How'd you figure that out? You're smart.
Because of what you just told me, Teruya. It's all thanks to you.
Thanks to me.
Are you starting to feel better now? Always bright and cheerful, that's Soteria, I know.
Yuki.
Yuki is doing his best.
You're right. I feel better after all this talking.
Everyone will feel sad, I'm not an exception. But there's moments in life where we must do things that we don't want to, right? Let's find the culprit who murdered Kyoka. We'll figure out the truth.
Yeah, of course we will. We can get there. Let's do this.
I think I was able to cheer Teria up a bit. That's a relief. Anyway, if what Teria said is true, the culprit should be someone who went to the antique store after yesterday.
Oh no.
Announcement from Headmaster Monokuma. Looks like all of you are tired of waiting. Shall we begin then? Our very first class trial.
Oh boy.
Everyone, please gather at the carpeted door at the end of the school area hallway. I'll be waiting for you there.
It's time. If we fail to identify the culprit in the class trial, we die. I really don't want to go through this, but I don't have a choice. This is the only way. The door with the carpet in the school area. I should go there. Oh boy.
Again, I cannot help you Korean-wise in the trial. This might take a bit of trial and error, I would say, before going in there.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know how many mana coins we have.
One.
And I know we can earn some in the trial, too. Okay, so one's not awful, but, you know. And all the FTs are broken, so I'm not too concerned, but I want the if item.
Yeah.
I
will try my best.
I still need to look that up.
This must be the place Monokuma told us to come. The courtroom.
Oh boy.
Ah, Yuki, you're here. I was about to get worried.
Were you trying to run away from your crime? What the fuck are you talking about, Mitch? Why are you sussing us? What did we do? Bitch, I also am sussing you. You and your fucking, like, projection-ass bullshit. I'm tired of him. Can we get rid of him?
Are you saying I'm the killer? Don't get ahead of yourself. We'll eventually find out the culprit, even if we don't want to. Even if it is the wrong answer. Since we came this far, did everyone get ready? To be or not to be? Dead or alive? That is the question.
Stop joking around. We're trying to be serious.
Jesus Christ.
Kakeru Yelly Boy arc.
Hey, you all listen. Haruhiko is right. This ain't an ordinary trial. Our lives depend on it. So quit whining and pull yourself together.
He is very different in court energy mode. I see.
Yeah. Mr. Yamaguchi, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong with you guys? You're all loosened up. You'll never get anywhere near the truth with that mindset. It's like he switched into his alternate personality with his niece. I don't know.
I'm not sure if that's that's proper phrasing, but I'm curious now.
Kakeru, did you eat something wrong? Shut your trap, wimps! I'm always like this in the courtroom. If you're pissed off by how I am, challenge me with decisive proof in a trial.
Interesting. Where did that stammering coward go? Tyria, you're one to talk, my boy. Hello? Wait a minute.
But I'm a bit worried about Kakeru. If he's too good in the trials, then he won't live long.
That's true.
I've always wondered how Kakeru became a lawyer with all his shyness. Though his sudden change came to me as a surprise, it made me understand why he was the ultimate lawyer right away. That powerful voice and spirit will surely give him a great advantage in court. The only problem is he sounds more like a gangster than a lawyer.
Yeah. Yo! Looks like everyone's here. Take that elevator and come underground. I'll be waiting for you guys.
Whoo boy.
It's time.
It's time for real. Let's hope we'll do our best.
I think you can talk to everyone before going in, because I know you can do it in SDRA too.
Dead or alive? Let's find out live.
Damn, it's really gotten to this. Can we even make it back here alive?
You
I
maybe
squint
not.
at you. You maybe not. The rest of us, I think, will be fine, Mitch. But I feel like you're getting knocked off today.
The class trial will start soon. We did our best. So let's hope that luck is on our side. Ah.
Don't get me wrong. I know this ain't the right time, but wasn't that one mad personality switch? I almost fell on my knees when I saw that.
Well, useless? Ready to uncover the truth? Like I said multiple times, I have no intention to help you out. Have fun struggling. Thanks.
Tsundere wants to help us and won't admit it.
She probably wants us to beg for help.
That absolutely scans.
Whether you like it or not, we'll need to do this. Let's go.
Kyoka will be watching us from up above. Let's find her murderer and help her find peace. Phew! I tried my best, but I'm still not sure on this. I might need to hear what the rest of you found out to get a grip on it.
I wonder how and why Monokuma is making us do this. Though I suppose we have more important matters to handle. To harm another human being means to defy heavenly law. Whoever committed the act must be ready to answer for their sin. Let's go. I think you will kill my throat.
That's why you have tea, Rina.
Come on, folks. Move, move, move. We've got no time to waste waiting for your slow pokes. Alrighty then.
Unimpressed.
Yeah.
She is unimpressed. Alright. This will be, something, for sure. Fuck!
Ah, now it's in English
Well,
again.
they got... several of my friends got through all the... Okay, it is in English now. I mean, we can continue from here if you want.
I guess we'll just see. I mean, it probably was mostly like fluff text. The elevator descends underground with a series of clinks and clangs.
Gosh, this is gonna take forever. Which floor are we on?
This feels like we're going somewhere we can never come back from.
Not concerned about the uneasiness at all, the elevator slowly approached its destination. We're here.
Finally! I was dying to see y'all!
What is this place? It looks so flashy.
I set this special courtroom. I'm starting that over. Fuck that. I set this special courtroom just for you guys. Isn't it sick? Other courtrooms would be nothing compared to this.
What the hell are you speaking? You call this a courtroom? You better be kidding. This is a contempt of court.
Well, enough talking. Let's get this over with quick. Stand where your name is written. Is everyone ready? We shall begin in a moment. Behold the class trial!
A circular arrangement where we can see each other's faces directly. Despite Monokuma's mischievous, almost ridiculous attitude, there was a strange tension going around here. Kyoka. She was a playful friend, and though somewhat lazy at times, she shined with positivity at every moment. When everyone else panicked at Monokuma's motive, she managed to cheer me up. Kyoka, she left our side too early. What would have she thought at her final moment? Why did she have to die? And the cruel killer who murdered Kyoka? That cold-blooded, heartless killer is hiding among us.
I'm sorry I couldn't.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway.
Kakeru is just...
Before we derail on that again.
I was a bit distracted because Kakeru just looked so psyched.
Yeah.
Ecstatic to be here. And thus, Act 1 at Host Peak Academy begins. A life or death trial. A life or death deception. Oh no! Why do you have the Makoto thing? A life or death betrayal. A life or death mystery. A life or death lie. A life or death truth. A life or death class trial. Blah.
I miss this track so much. It always gets me really excited because they use this for STRA 2 to prep for the trial screen, and I'm like, ah! Oh, I'm so excited.
Do we want to look at the truth bullets first or jump into the trial?
We probably should. Okay, so we got the Monokuma file, which states the time of death and basically what happened to her.
Yep.
And then we got Kanata, who pointed out like the rope basically being useless, and also confirming the Monokuma file is right. Like, what's the point of her being hanged? Because she did basically a secondary autopsy. The body's clean of blood, which is unusual, and then she has a dent in the back of her skull. We got the setup note basically telling the victim to come to the laundry room. No idea where she picked this up, though.
Good question. We also didn't find anything that wiped her body or something she could have been covered with.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's throwing me off that feels like missing evidence, but from what I know, you can't miss evidence, so I think there's just not a truth bullet for it. Or if there is, we don't have it yet. Because you can acquire truth bullets inside the trials, too, so...
Maybe he somehow
we'll see
managed
if it's even necessary.
to kick it in the incinerator?
Possibly. I could see that. If it's indeed Mitch, which I'm kind of hoping it is, and it's really pointing to him right now.
Yeah. But you know, if the hook actually was hooked into the rubber ball, then the liquid should be on the hook as well.
That's the other thing, too, that's throwing me off. Because if it was hooked inside of it, there would be residue on there. So now I'm just like, what is the purpose of the ball? That's the part that's getting me, because obviously, if it's not hooked in there, then the other thought is he kicked it hard enough for it to burst and then to bounce back out the door. But what was the point? What was the point in the usage of the ball? Because it's leading towards her body.
That's...
And it was moved out of the bathroom, which means he had to be able to get it and put it and dispose of it like the murder weapon. Actually, I might know how. I think I just put it together. So if it stopped by her body, that hammer has a pretty long handle if it's to scale in RPG Maker. What if he used it to yank it back out? Because he can't enter the bathroom. That's my thought.
That could definitely be a way.
I don't know if that's actually what happened, but that's my thought. I just put that together. Because it would have to make a pretty high bounce near the end for it to get out. Because there's like a pretty decent gap between the door and her body. So my other thought is like, the hammer might be long enough for him to reach it, to pull it back out, and then dispose of both. That's what I think, though. I have no idea.
It sounds reasonable, but we still don't know what the rubber ball was for.
I know! That's the part that's throwing me. I'm like, what is this thing? The Switch nameplates.
Yep.
And then Haru. And then confirming that Mekaru has an alibi, and so does he. Murder weapon. And then I still don't fucking know what this is. This is going to drive me insane.
Well, if they're going to throw
it's going to come up in the case, obviously, but I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what are you?
I will die if they try to make a Hangman's Gambit out of it.
Oh, buddy. There is a Hangman's Gambit minigame, and it is completely in Korean, and we're gonna fail it a lot. That's all I have to say. And I have been trying to scour for a guide, but the only guides that exist are video guides, and all of them are streams that have commentary, so I haven't been able to properly comb through them. If we struggle enough today, I will do it before we do this again. Like, before we record again.
Godspeed to us.
And then, yeah. Scene of the murder with the laundry room. And then Teria talking about the store layout. And the fact that murderer definitely got everything from the store.
Alright.
Okay, so there's not a lot of truth bullets. This should be relatively simple. Just hopefully it's not overly complicated.
Yeah. I'm more afraid of the minigames than anything.
Oh yeah, me too. I think other than the minigames, we'll have a time.
Let us begin with the basic explanation of the class trial. So your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out the culprit, only they will receive the punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the Blackens. And the one that deceived everyone will get to graduate.
One of us is the killer? The culprit who murdered Kyoka?
Of course. No way. I have to be in the same place as a real murderer? I can't do that.
Well, I know it's hard, but it's a must. We need to uncover the truth behind this case. And ultimately reveal the culprit's identity.
Wait, hold on. What's that?
Death picture.
That picture of Kyoka. Wouldn't it be awful if she got left out just because she died? Friendship penetrates even the death's barrier.
Hey, let me ask you something just in case. It's crucial that we know this for the trial. This is really important, so prepare to answer them as. Can there be accomplices in a case? That will determine the entire course of our discussion.
Really important? Why, sure, I can tell you that. Now, accomplices in murder may exist. However, no matter how many accomplices there are, only the one who committed the murder graduates.
I see. There would be no merit for the accomplice.
Kakeru, he really looks different, like a different person. That'll do for the preamble. Let's get started then. First up is the case summary. Now, let the debate begin!
The class trial. When Monokuma first mentioned it in the gym, I thought none of us would commit murder. Then a class trial would never happen. That's why I didn't think too deep about this. But it really started. The trial to find Kyoka's killer. If we fail to reveal the culprit in this trial will be... No, I can't let that happen. I have to do this not only for me, but for everyone else too. To find out what really happened, and to reach the ultimate truth. I must do this with all my might.
Non-stop debate. I'm really curious how this is going to function in 1. Because it functions interestingly in 2. I like it a lot in 2, but I've never seen it in 1. So I'm kind of curious how it looks.
In a non-stop debate, you need to be on the lookout for contradictions in your fellow students' statements and refute them with a truth bullet. You can fire a truth bullet by moving the red crosshair over text marked in yellow and pressing confirm.
Yep.
A set of truth bullets taken from the list you obtained during the investigation will be given for each discussion topic. You must select the right truth bullet to refute the contradiction. Press Shift to change the selected truth bullet. Needless to say, but firing a truth bullet at the wrong place will deplete your influence. Complete depletion of the influence will result in a game over, so please do be careful. You may skip through lines by pressing the arrow in the bottom right. Oh boy. Well, okay.
Yeah.
No need for shift
Just letting
here.
you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus. It moves on its own.
Yeah, it does. I see. So they're like stills. I mean, considering which
Who could have done such a terrible thing? Look, you see, I still can't quite believe that a real murder happened here. I mean, this is ridiculous. Kyoka hanged herself and
Yep. That would be the main inconsistency here. Just no.
Yeah.
agility. Wow.
Okay.
Nice. The results screens are super different. Man, SDRA 2 was a glow up. You're in for a treat when we reach that point.
Okay. That's wrong, Teria. Kyoka didn't choke to death.
She didn't choke to death?
Then how do you explain the rope around her neck?
The Monokuma file. Didn't you read it? It clearly states Kyoka's cause of death. Look, it says here, the victim is Kyoka Maki. The estimated time of death is around 6 a.m. The body was discovered hanging in the girls' restroom of the student dormitory. The cause of death is a contusion on the occiput. There seems to have been excessive blood loss from the wound. See, according to the file, Kyoka didn't die due to choking. Her real cause of death is the contusion on her occiput, the back of her head.
Yeah, but can we really trust that thing? I don't know if I can really trust something from that old jerk Monokuma.
Fair, but also...
What? Are you really questioning my credibility? Oh, kids these days, they just love to judge a file by its cover. Listen, I do not tell any lies regarding the trial. I believe in a fair trial more than anyone else.
Don't worry, Mr. Otori. I can back up the credibility of the information. Almost everything in the Monokuma file is true. I'll guarantee you as a physician.
So, if Kyoka died from the contusion on her occiput, something must have hit her head from the back, right? Okay, so she didn't kill herself, and another person killed her. Then I guess this really is a murder.
Sure is.
Well, duh. Don't reckon that it's suicide just because you're too lazy to go through the trial. Our lives are at stake here.
Interesting line.
Sure, Mitch.
Let us not waste our energy in pointless insults. It's
The one time I'm gonna agree with Urehara.
Yeah. It's already stated in the Monokuma file, but to add on my personal commentary, Kyoka's injury was very severe. The strike went through her skull and made a large depression on her head. And fearing from this, she probably died an instant death. What a devastating incident. This should not have happened. We can put those commentaries aside and talk about what actually matters. If the injury was that severe, a hard object must have been used to strike her head. The murder weapon, you mean? I expected someone would bring it up this time. I know. Won't us all talk... I know. Why won't we all talk about the weapon used to deliver the fatal blow to Kyoka? If Kyoka didn't kill herself, a blunt object rather than the rope must have been used as a weapon. Let's delve into that some more. The murder weapon that struck Kyoka's head. We need to find out what it was. Oh, please let everything in this trial be so easy. Yeah, I don't need to change anything that.
Spin, spin, spin.
The culprit must have hit the head with a blunt object. That should be the weapon.
What kind of object is the weapon?
The strike on Kyoka's head was clearly deep enough to create a depression on her skull. God fucking damn it. Oh, it worked.
Yeah. I'm surprised the hitbox actually took that.
I'm also surprised.
Interesting. 0 miss, so I guess it counted it as perfect.
Alrighty then, good to know.
Excellent.
Ayame, that can't be right. In fact, I discovered this from the dormitory's garbage dump. Is that... It's a hammer. A small one you can easily hold with one hand.
Is that what the culprit used to attack Kyoka?
It appears it apparently has blood on it, so it must be the weapon. The fact that it was found at a garbage dump indicates that the culprit attempted to get rid of it.
How'd you even find that in the dump? But that tiny hammer can really kill a person?
A lot of stuff can kill a person with enough force. Wanna try if you're curious?
No thanks, I'm fine.
Regardless of the size, a hammer is made of metal. With enough force at the right angle, killing a person in a single blow is not entirely impossible.
To sum it up, the culprit murdered Kyoka at once with a hammer strike from the back, then hanged her.
But isn't it strange? If the killer just wanted to murder Kyoka, then why did they hang the body? Even if it was to cover up her real cause of death, the bruise and the bloodstains are still there. You can see that it's a murder right away.
You can? I thought it was suicide before Yuki told us.
That's because you're an helpless idiot.
I love her.
Miss Maki's body didn't look typical of people who hanged themselves in the first place. Too unnatural if it was meant to be framed as a suicide.
Too unnatural? Yeah, it did look slightly different from a typical suicide by hanging. It looked unnatural because the rope was too loose, Kyoka wasn't hanging in the air,
I would say the rope is too loose because that's what Inori told us earlier. Is that the rope was too loosely, was more like it was wrapped around, not properly tied. Fuck! Okay, fine, then it's the second one.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Kanata, do you mean the body looked unnatural because it wasn't hanging in the air despite the rope being tied on her?
Ah yes, that is correct. Don't you think so?
Oi! I got zero ideas about all of this.
Idiot. You don't know how people die from hanging. They usually tie a rope in the air, stand on a chair or similar object and then kick it off as they hang themselves. That way there's nothing to step on and eventually they are choked by gravity to death.
Oh, I get it. If Kyoka committed suicide, her body has to be hanging down in the air.
But Kyoka's body was down on the floor, even with the rope hung around her neck. This must be the point.
It sure is weird. Why did the culprit hang Kyoka's body then?
It's simple. There are two possible explanations. The culprit either had a reason to do it, or was, swear to God, stupid.
I think both of these apply here, because Mitch is not the brightest if it is Mitch.
Yeah.
The culprit?
He's kinda high-key dumb as ass.
The culprit is stupid? Would that mean Haru is the culprit?
Oh.
Satsuki, honey, be nice to him.
Hey! She said the culprit is stupid, not that a stupid person is the culprit.
Buddy, that is the same statement, beloved. That is the same statement. What do you mean?
Oh no.
He didn't deny...
Ah, sorry.
He didn't deny that he's stupid.
Anyway, there's no way the culprit hanged her without thinking. There has to be a reason.
What is the reason that this had to happen?
To talk about that, we first have to discuss about the culprit first. There is no need to repeat that. Revealing the identity of the culprit is the ultimate object of this trial, after all. So let us discuss about this culprit like Tsurugi said.
But who is the real killer? I have no idea.
Me neither. How could there be a murderer among us? I can't even imagine who.
Count
Bogus?
2. It's the second time.
This is gonna keep happening, isn't it? That's the third time. What do you mean? This happened when they did the spread, and then it happened during, like earlier before that. And now it's happening again. Neither of us have really like latched onto Among Us either. We're just memeing.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway. Hey, didn't we already narrow it down to half, to be honest?
Interesting that you bring it up first.
He is trying to pin it on the girls. I fucking knew it, you asshats!
What makes you say that?
Duh! Use your brain! Kyoka's body was found in the girls' restroom, hanged by a rope. Then shouldn't the killer be one of the girls? You're trying to get heat off yourself.
What?
Hey, he has a point. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Little beloved, he does not. Exactly. For example, Kizuna could be the killer. She didn't speak up once since the beginning of the trial. Or Miss Dark Circles over there. Mikako doesn't speak much, bud.
And now he's
And
pointing.
Kizuna doesn't want to cooperate because she's fucking paranoid.
Pointing fingers, eh?
Yep, he's starting it early. Huh?
Nah.
I love how Mikako doesn't even brush that off. She's just like, I don't have time for this.
One of them's the culprit?
That's nonsense. I have no reason to commit murder.
Then why are you so quiet? It's hella suspicious. Dark Circles is always like that, but not you. How would you know? I don't think any women talk to you, my guy.
Yeah, we haven't really seen them talk to each other, have we?
Yeah, no, Mitch doesn't really talk to anybody. The only time we've seen him really interact is like sometimes in the group meetings and then his altercation with Akane in the hallway. But anyway. Shut up. I'm just trying to avoid talking with dirty killers. Again, she's paranoid. That's the reason she's not participating.
Miss Tomori, please don't call us killers. There's only one culprit. Monokuma said accomplices have no merit. Don't view us like that.
Hell no. Kyoka's already dead. It can be anyone next time. I can't die here.
Do you know that unnecessary overreaction makes you look even more suspicious? You pointing fingers so aggressively also does the same!
Indeed.
Shut up, Higa! How dare you spit out nonsense? The killer's a girl because the body was in the girl's restroom? It's not like we have rules here. Guys can certainly enter it too. That is incorrect.
Yeah, sadly.
Kizuna, you sound like a different person today. Why are you calling him by last name? Well, I guess her Well, I guess her mask slipped.
It's impossible for a man to enter the women's restroom. That might have been a possibility in the real world, but this place has a rule that forbids it. Am I right, Monokuma?
Bingo! A man entering the women's restroom is considered a form of indecency that will be punished by a shower of bullets from the machine guns. The same goes for the opposite case. This applies to not only the restrooms, but also the locker rooms and the bathhouse. That will be unlocked soon.
Soon.
Ah, I see. That's why we're going to need a separate save soon, because the thing I'm talking about, the extra scene happens in the bathhouse. Let's bear that in mind!
Nah.
I did that on purpose.
That's true. Monokuma warned us when we found Kyoka's body and tried to step in.
Come on. It's a matter of common sense that guys can never commit murder in the girls' restroom.
Okay.
He's really leaning on that as his defense, wow.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. Why would I, of all people, commit murder? I'm not a criminal. If anyone is, it's that creepy bitch.
Damn, Kizuna.
Let's not.
Why are you going after Mikako like that?
Let's not start pointing more fingers here. If Mitsuhiro is right, that means the culprit is either Akane, Mikaru, Kanada, Ayame, Kizuna, Satsuki, or Mikako.
No, I'm not the culprit.
Satsuki never ever killed anyone.
Yeah, if the killer is one of the girls, who else can it be besides her? Don't you agree, Rei Mikaru?
Huh? What is she even talking about?
Don't pull my leg. Weren't you late when the body was discovered? Everyone was there except for you. If you're not the culprit, why did you come late?
Is it all you have? I told you back then I was late because I was investigating the main entrance.
Nobody believes you. You have no evidence.
She has.
She does. Well, surely. She was a bit suspicious. He's trying to pin it on anyone so long as it's not him. I'm so tired of him!
I'm not trying to jump to conclusions, but why did you come late? Like, you did come late. Mikaru, can you prove what you said?
If you need proof for something as simple as this, it would be better for you to die here, airhead.
You know, for a second I thought she would really pull a Togami and be like, Yuki, you do this.
Maybe later. Maybe later she might. Who knows? Because she's really taking off after his model, I'll be honest. Like, personality-wise.
Yeah.
Just a little meaner than him, but, like, I kind of like that.
It's certainly fun.
Yeah, she is.
Trying to back out? Gotcha. We found the answer. This bitch is the killer.
There's so much more evidence we gotta go through, Kizuna. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Hold on. I suggest that we think about this some more.
Coming late to the scene is sure to draw suspicion, but would it also mean that Mikaru is the culprit? No, that's impossible. I know Mikaru really was at the entrance hall to investigate. There was evidence pointing to her innocence. It was...
It was, Kakeru.
Yeah. Hold on. Mikaru is innocent. She really was at the entrance to investigate that time.
Huh? How can you be so sure? Did you see it yourself?
No, but... Kakeru, you know it, right? Mikaru's innocence. You said it, Yuki. Listen up, fellas. Rei Mikaru is innocent. I, Kakeru Yamaguchi, am the witness.
Unimpressed! Not even a thank you! Golly! She's such a stone cold bitch. I love her.
Yep.
Mr. Yamaguchi, is there something you know about this?
I woke up in around 6 AM with an urge to go to the restroom. As I was heading there, I encountered Mikaru. She said she was going to investigate the school wing and walked away. The next time I saw her was after the murder had occurred. Which means Mikaru is innocent.
Did you get what he's saying? Satsuki sees the logic but can't understand a thing because of all that stupid shouting. Poohaha.
Satsuki.
Basically, he saw Mikaru heading towards the school in the morning, which proves Mikaru's claim.
Wait, but the body discovery announcement was at 8. There's 2 hours in between the time you saw her and the murderer. 2 whole hours. How does that prove her innocence?
The time of death. Kizuna, think about the time again. It's true that Mikaru didn't show up until after we found the body, but Kyoka's estimated time of death was 6 AM. In other words, it's impossible for Mikaru to have murdered Kyoka since she went to the school wing at 6. Sure, she could have turned back as soon as Kakeru went back into his room, but there wouldn't be enough time for her to hang Kyoka's body or throw away the hammer. This is the reason why I'm saying Mikaru is innocent. Oha?
Ooh! I'm glad that my voice is actually close! I haven't heard her cut-in lines, so I'm actually kinda happy that I was close to the mark. Wrong. That's not enough to say she's innocent.
So there is a little bit of Danganronpa 2 in here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The characters have voice line cut-ins. You'll hear more of it in 2, but like I heard from some of my friends that it was in 1 also. I just hadn't heard any yet, but man, okay.
Why? We even have a witness, Kakeru.
No, there's a hole in your argument. I'm sorry, you, but I've got to make this rebuttal. That's the only way to make the Four Eyes admit her crime and end the stupid trial.
Alright, how does this work here? I am a little
Let's
bit
see
afraid.
if it's as bad as it is in 2, or if it's worse.
I mean,
Rebuttal Showdown in 2 is awful.
it's certainly not the easiest if you have to make the thingies at interesting angles.
Yeah, that's 2's awful for that. So I really want to see how they handled it in 1, because I've heard like a lot of the minigames for 1 are super fucking jank, and I'm just like, is this one of them? Is this one of them? I'm scared, because this one's jank in 2 also.
A rebuttal showdown is a one-on-one debate with a person who disagrees with you. Your opponent will put forward their argument and continuously press on you. Press confirm to slash the opponent's words. Just like in a non-stop debate, you can refute text marked in yellow by pressing shift. It's the opposite! It's the opposite.
That's Lineage, why?
You can switch your truth blade with the left and right arrow keys. Use the right truth
Fuck,
blade.
okay, it is fucking fashioned like 2! 2, it's arrows. You have to shoot arrows at angles at the text, and it's like in the worst array possible, and it's really janky, and it's really fast, and it's it drove my friends insane while we were going through it.
Uh-oh. The shift key won't work at non-yellow text, and pressing confirm will slash arguments in the order they were set. Be careful though, since not all arguments will go down with a single slash. Your influence gauge will take damage if you refute the wrong argument. Your focus gauge will take damage if you fail to completely strike down a piece of white text. Just a little warning, if you have 0 focus and fail to strike down white text, your influence gauge...
So this is where the... Oh, fuck, okay.
Okay, thank you for that. At least I don't have to worry about that.
What, switching? It's it's kind of hard to read these because some of them are cut off,
that
so I'm
remotely?
probably not going to.
Okay, no. Alright. Oh, god damn it. Okay.
Yay!
I don't really know what I did, but...
I'm kind of annoyed because that rebuttal is kind of fashioned better. The way they did it in 2 is so bad.
Hmm.
And I think it's because they wanted quicker gameplay, and I get it because they were messing with VX Ace for RPG Maker. So very different model from this one, which I can't remember which model of RPG Maker it's in actually.
One is I think 2000 or 2003.
Yeah, something like that. I have access to a document somewhere that actually has like some fun facts about the specs of game 1 and why some of the English fans that were working on remastering it dropped it because it was very headache inducing for the current developers that were working to make it localized. So instead they're remaking it from scratch, but it's going to take a while.
I'm currently getting worried about when we will have the pleasure to save.
I think, if I remember right, you can only save after the trials. For 1, but in 2 you get certain mid-trial saves. Thank God, because... Ugh. But I don't think you can save during the trials in 1.
That's an oversight.
Yeah! It is! I agree!
Easy RPG player doesn't have save states, right?
Oh no! Shit! Alright, well, here's the thing, Rina. If we fail, we'll just stop for today. And then try again next time. Anyway, let's do our best.
Yeah.
Because so far, the minigames we've seen aren't the worst. I know one minigame, though, that comes up in trials that I am not looking forward to. It's bad.
Yeah. Kizuna, it's impossible to kill Kyoka remotely.
How come? I told you.
Well, technically, it's possible, but it's not the answer for this case. And it's because her body was too clean. The body was too clean? Remember how Kyoka's body looked like? Kyoka's head did have a large bruise and was all sticky with blood. But that was it. The blood on her hair didn't even flow very far. Her clothes were clean too. Isn't it strange? A bruise that severe enough to create a dent on her head and not a single drop of blood got on her clothes? There's only one reason for this. The killer wiped off the blood at the same time Kyoka died. Yes, I agree with Yuki. I was wondering the same thing while I examined the body.
But can you stop bleeding from a wound that big just by wiping it a few times?
Technically, no.
That's what the fucking ball's for!
By making it sticky?
No, okay, so, fuck, there's embalming methods and shit that, like, certain oily substances can staunch wounds.
Oh.
And also, they can get blood off faster, but I don't know if that's the case here, because I don't remember what that fucking substance is called. But I just know it's a thing. It's a thing you can do, and God, I fucking forgot about that, because I was just like, how the fuck did he clean the body without any, and I'm like, there's no rags, so it's gotta be the ball, but I'm like, what's the point of kicking it in there? What is the point of kicking it in there? Because the only thing I can see now is, like, kicked it in there, it hit the back of her head, but it wouldn't... This is so weird. This is such a weird fucking... Okay.
My nosebleeds never stopped that easily when I tried to wipe them off.
It doesn't take long for blood to coagulate in room temperature. A nosebleed is from an injury inside the nose, but Mrs. Markey's bruise was directly exposed to the air. About 5 minutes of pressure would have been enough to stop her bleeding. And
Yeah, pressure would help, but like,
Hmm.
what was used? That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's no cloth anywhere. So, if you add pressure to an oily substance... Okay, keep going. I'm thinking out loud.
And Mrs. Markey literally likely died in an instant death, so the actual amount of bleeding might not have been much due to lack of circulation.
Huh? But if the culprit wiped it off as soon as Kyoka died...
Right, if the culprit killed Kyoka remotely from a distance, like Kizuna suggested, Kyoka's body would be covered with blood by the time they got to wipe it off. Also, they would have to risk the blood getting on her clothes when there's no way to wash it off. What do you think, Kizuna? Anything left for you to say?
Why? Why are you siding with Four Eyes?
I mean, it's a logical thing to do.
Yeah, it's... That's a sprite!
I wasn't really siding with Mikaru.
True, why would Useless stand up for me in the first place? I don't care what you think of me, but don't use it to justify framing someone else in a trial. If we choose the wrong person based off your petty emotions, everyone here is going to die. Did you still not understand the rule of this place?
Fine, do whatever you want.
Yes. Then, is Mikaru fully proven innocent? Is everyone clear on that?
Why are we suddenly talking about Makaru, though? I didn't follow along, because there's a lot going on.
If I remember
Wrong voice.
If I remember correctly, she faced our suspicion after Mitsuhiro said the killer was among the girls. Mikaru, we apologize for suspecting you. Shrug it off. No matter how much you contempt and disdain me, I don't give a damn.
Queen shit.
Yeah.
Mikaru, she has the guts.
Then we can safely assume that Mikaru and Kakeru have an alibi.
Well, we already crossed off Kakeru. Didn't you say the killer is a girl?
Buddy, my friend, my guys, no. Hold on. Even if Four Eyes is innocent, I'm not going to take that. The killer cannot be a girl. But there's no other possibility. The killer had to be able to enter the girls' restroom. Who else other than the girls can enter the girls' restroom? And why are you being so fussy if you're not the culprit? You feeling guilty or something?
Pointing.
Why are you pointing so many fucking fingers, Mitch?
Pointing.
I told you I'm not the killer.
Pointing at everyone but himself.
I mean, it's just not fair. You can't assume me as the killer just because I'm a girl. And you don't even have solid reasoning. Oh, come on. If the rule that boys cannot enter the girls' restroom is not an acceptable reason, then what is?
The blood in the laundry room?
Yeah, bud.
The culprit is a girl. But is that really like that?
This isn't good. We can't reach an agreement if we keep fighting. Ultimate Leader, we're waiting for you to come up with a plan.
There's no need. In fact, I highly encourage this sort of debate. Huh? I see the current situation as a perfect chance for all of us to understand the culprit's tragedy.
Well, what do you mean? Everyone's just fighting each other right now.
Think about why you were led to believe that the culprit is a woman. If you can
Kinjo Big Brain?
Yeah, I have a feeling he's already like suspicious.
Good.
If you can figure that out, you'll be able to reach the answer from here on. Why did we come to think that the culprit is a girl? The body was in the girl's restroom for sure. Then is the culprit a girl, just like Mitch said? I think we're still missing something critical. I have to point that out.
Laundry room, laundry room. We do a non-stop debate again? Think so.
Well,
The torn note. I think we have to do 2. God, okay. The culprit's definitely one of the girls. I said I'm not gonna take it.
I must say it does sound convincing. The body was indeed discovered.
We didn't kill anyone!
Calm down. While the body was found in a women's restroom, we must consider that Kyoko's murder and the hanging occurred separately from one another. Gee.
But the murder still happened in the girls' restroom, right? The culprit must have murdered Kyoka inside the restroom.
Nope.
Do you have to speak
No, my man.
sideways?
I know, that was staggering me for me. I was like, fuck, tilts my head. Like, damn it, Haru, don't do that to me. I think it's because sometimes Korean can be read sideways.
No, Haru, that's not true.
Not true. What's not true?
We've been missing something critical. I'll cut to the chase. The culprit can certainly be a guy too.
Huh? What are you talking about?
You are always the first one to talk about this topic.
So fucking sussy. So fucking sussy. Guys couldn't go in the girls' restroom. How do you commit murder at a place you can't even enter?
It doesn't matter, and that doesn't matter. All this time we thought the murder occurred in the girls' restroom since that's where the body was found. But where the murder actually happened was a totally different location.
Huh? What you mean? The body was at the girls' restroom. Oh! I get it!
Looks like everyone finally got it.
That reminds me, the Monokuma file only stated where the body was discovered, not the place where the actual murder occurred.
A critical point indeed. We weren't paying attention to the real deal while being distracted by superficial things. You should have seen it at your first glance.
Wait, hold on. If Kyoka wasn't murdered in the girls' restroom, if the culprit killed her in another place, then moved the body to the restroom, those could all be done by someone who's not a girl.
Yep. Come to think of it, Kyoka's body was quite close to the restroom entrance.
I made that observation! Thank you, Kakeru!
Then, was Kyoka murdered somewhere else?
How did you reach that conclusion, Yuki? I bet you had some kind of supporting evidence.
2 things, actually.
Yeah, in fact, I found a puddle of blood in the laundry room.
The laundry room? That place sounds so irrelevant.
The bloodstain says everything. Kyoka Maki was murdered in the laundry room. The laundry room? I have seen Miss Maki there a few times, but her time of death? Why did she go to the laundry room at 6 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah, I know she was an early bird, but I don't think she would get up that early.
Oh no, they're getting so loud.
Hmm. The reason Kyoka headed to the laundry room was, didn't I find something that can answer that question? What was it? I think it's coming to mind. The
The
clue
note.
was... Yeah. There it is.
Yup.
Everyone, can you look at this for a second?
What's that?
I found this from Kyoka's body. It looks like a scrap piece of paper from the notepad Monokuma gave us. Kyoka was holding it tight in her hand. Would you like me to read what it says? To the laundry room at 6. There any can be waiting.
It's all raggedy and torn.
Take a closer look. It certainly mentions that place in the parts that we can read.
I see! The laundry room!
Moreover, the words that really matter are still intact despite the missing parts. From the parts of the message, from the parts that are left, I think the full message was: so come to the laundry room at 6. There aren't any cameras there. I'll be waiting. Something like that.
That was so sick, Tsurugi. You completed the note just from its parts.
He's a cop. He does that.
It's my speculation, so I can't assure that it's completely identical to the original sentence, but it should be the same overall.
Is it ripped because the culprit tried to pull it out by force?
I believe so. Maybe the culprit wasn't able to remove the whole paper from Mrs. Maki's hand due to rigor mortis.
That means Kyoka got that note from someone and went to the laundry room at the designated time without knowing what's about to happen.
Shoot! Why would anyone use those kinds of cheap tricks?
Huh? Satsuki confused on the part that says there aren't any cameras. Perhaps it was intended to make the note look like some sort of secret talk? Nope, that's not what Satsuki meant. Are there really no cameras in the laundry room? There is.
Whoa, what a surprise. You can talk.
Between the ventilator and the clothesline.
Yes, I saw it too. The culprit just wrote down meaningless nonsense as bait.
Kyoka. Just why?
I apologize for the untimely interruption, but may I speak for a moment? Kinji, what is it? Kyoka was murdered in the laundry room, although we can now be certain about the statement. Is it not too early to conclude that a man could be the culprit as well? Huh? Well, it is possible for a man to commit murder in the laundry room and carry the body to the restroom. Recall the fact that Kyoka was not merely lying on the restroom floor. She was hanged by a rope attached to the ceiling. Have we forgotten this already?
Oh, you're right. The murder could be done somewhere else, but you'll have to enter the restroom to connect the rope to the ceiling. Not quite. There's a fucking grappling hook attached to that bitch.
Yeah, and I think he generally is a bit surprised here because he forgot about it.
Yeah. He was too busy panicking, like, oh god, I'm gonna be found out.
So, the culprit is really a girl then? What? Are we back when we started?
Seriously, guys, you want to think the culprit is a girl that bad?
No, but Kinji is not wrong. It's impossible to tie a rope to a pipe inside a restroom unless you are inside as well.
See, the killer is one of the girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Nora, you should tell them what you said to us earlier. Thank you.
Wait, it's too early to make that conclusion. Can there be a way to hang the body from the outside?
If Kinji is right, the killer cannot be a guy. But if there's a way to refute that logic, I have to come up with that even if the chances are less than 1%. This isn't a drill. A single mistake can kill all of us. This isn't a drill. If we put our heads together, we'll be able to find the answer.
Another non-stop debate, I'm assuming.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is it Kanata's account or hook?
It's either that or the hook.
A way to hang the body from the outside. Is that really possible?
What if the culprit used a tool for it?
So that's confirming.
Maybe look had a tall height?
No, they must have climbed up the wall.
Satsuki, no.
It's kind of stunned. Satsuki can do it too.
That
Ay.
doesn't help.
Hey, we're being serious here.
So, the tool?
I think that it would be hook paired at tool, so yes.
Let's think closely. There's still a possibility that a guy is the culprit. If the body could be hung without entering the restroom, that would prove the culprit could be a guy too. Don't struggle on your own. There's definitely something. Come to think of it, there was another object attached to the rope. Alright.
Interesting that it'll actually give you hints if you let it completely expire. Oh no, you take damage if you do that. Let it go through? God.
Only the focus gauge, but it's still something.
I'm glad that... So... Wrong thing. You're supposed to use the hook.
It didn't save the hook?
Nah, it doesn't seem like it.
God damn it.
Shit.
God damn it indeed. Oh, we took health damage there. Fuck. Okay.
Why do we only have 3 health?
I hate it. There we go.
Yay.
Got a miss, but that's fine.
Still 80 points.
Yeah, not bad.
That's it, Yame. You can use a tool.
A tool? But how?
I almost forgot. The tool that was tied to the rope. It's right here. Do you see it?
Did we take a picture of it?
I guess. Looks like a hook to me.
A hook? The rope had something like that?
I'm starting to get impressed by the extent of you guys' stupidity.
Oh, I love her.
But Useless made a good point this time. You're right, looks like you got it correct.
Not so useless now.
So, what about the hook?
The culprit must have thrown this hook with the rope attached to connect it to the pipe on the ceiling. That way the rope is all set. Afterwards, they can tie the other end to Kyoka's neck and push her body inside. Wouldn't that be possible to do without actually entering the women's restroom?
That would make sense why she's only kind of, you know, hovering off the ground. That, like, just let go and she kind of just swings in there. I guess. That wasn't exactly what I was thinking, but sure, that doesn't explain the substance on the wall, but alright, game.
Yes, it is. This is our answer.
Hold on. Look how the rope is tied to the pipe. It's been twined several times around the pipe. Is it possible to do that with a heavy-looking hook on the rope? If your throwing arm's good.
Oi,
He's right. It's fastened by the hook, but the rope went around several times.
I wanted to ask, since when are you French? Oui.
Yeah, I know, but I want to give him the cowboy accent. I want to give it to him so bad, because it just works. Because, like, the rest of his speech pattern just doesn't fit that, and I'm like,
I mean, I also like to use Spanish
Plus, I don't
sometimes.
actually... I don't actually know, like, what his nationality is, to be fair, so I'm just like, I'm making you a cowboy, deal with it. Especially because you haven't seen the design, another design for him that comes up sometime later, I won't say which game. But, his hat, it's not a cowboy hat, but it gives me cowboy energy. And there was a running joke I did with my other friends about it, and it's just kind of stuck.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I know, it's nearly impossible to tie a rope like that when there's a hook attached.
What the? You said it like it's possible.
That's why the culprit used another tool to secure the rope onto the pipe.
Is that what the fucking ball is for? Is that what the fucking ball is for? How? How? Tsurugi, explain that! What do you mean?
Yeah. Another tool?
What the fuck?
What is that, another tool? Seems like Mikaru is the only one who realized what it is. Well, can you tell us, Mikaru?
Like hell, I realized. I knew it from the very beginning. And if you are trying to sound me out, quit it. I already said that I have no plans to offer any help. Besides, it looks like Useless over there got a hold of it anyway. Why don't you ask him?
Wow, there she goes. She's like, Yuki will handle it.
Yeah. Tell him, Yuki.
Tell him, Yuki.
Well,
God damn it.
me?
She really is Femme Byakuya.
Yeah.
No wonder she's the fan favorite. That makes so much sense.
Yuki, can you tell us the answer?
Well, it's...
Oh, you didn't? Sorry about that. I guess that question was too hard for your non-functional brain.
I won't forgive myself if I don't give an answer after hearing that. In fact, I'm sure that I can. I found that object during the investigation, didn't I? A tool other than the hook was used to secure the rope from the outside. The tool was... whatever the fuck this thing is.
I swear to God if it's the ball. I swear to God if it's the ball. We better get a fucking explanation for this because I need to know why this is here and what it's for.
I mean, it has to be. Good. And one more thing. There was a key piece of evidence that can prove this tool's involvement in a crime. Yeah, this disgusting smear.
So it's the fucking ball. Please explain, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Ah, I got it. I figured out the other tool used by the culprit. It's the rubber ball.
Rubber ball?
Yeah, me too. Me too, Haru.
What rubber ball?
It's like a bouncy ball. Have you ever played with them when you were young? It's full of some kind of... because...
What?
Liquid that makes it bounce back up when it hits the floor. I have...
What? Oh my god! If it's one of those fucking small-ass bouncy balls with the weird liquid inside, then yes, I understand what the fuck that is, but that's not what it looked like!
Yeah, I think I also know what they're talking about, but
Linus.
man, that's long.
Linus! This is so confusing!
It's too long. It has been too long since I ever helped. such a ball in my hand.
Oh my god! I'm gonna lose my mind! I was like, what the fuck is this? Also, which ones of those are filled with like oily substance? I understand why it smells like rubber now, but jeez. I'm not dedicating any more brain energy to that. That upsets me. Anyway.
Oh, I know. I made some improvements to it and sold it overseas under the name Hyperball.
Okay, fine. I understand now. It's your fucking fault. I'm sorry, Terry. I love you, but that made me so mad.
Did I tell y'all that it's still selling great?
How is it relevant to the case? You better tell us quick, Yuki. Okay, I figured out the way the rubber ball was used in the murder just now. Okay. Enlighten
explain.
us.
Please, God, explain. I'm gonna lose it.
After Tsurugi said the culprit used another tool to set the rope in place, I tried to relate the act of winding the rope with the circumstances of the murder. Okay.
What?
I also was like,
What?
I think we can be certain about the culprit using a hook since we found one on the pipe. But as Mitch pointed out, it's impossible to wind the rope like that with the hook alone.
It's fucking used as a weight.
Hmm.
It was used as a counterweight. And the reason that the fucking near her body, the liquid and shit, is because yes, it was punctured. But I think it was more like that it was secured in the hook, and then as the weight of the fucking momentum was wrapping it around, because it was used as like a counterweight so that it would go farther. You know how like when you're swinging something heavy and it goes harder? That's what this is. Fine, momentum science. I will give you an excuse there, but for fuck's sake!
Putting the hook after setting up the rope wasn't a choice either, because there's no way to get a rope around the pipe by itself. Besides, they would have to step inside to attach the hook. That's why the culprit used the rubber ball. Before using the hook, the culprit tied the rope around the rubber ball.
Yep.
Then they threw it inside the restroom between the pipe and the ceiling, to be more exact.
Yep.
That way the ball would hit the wall and bounce back towards where it started.
Yep, I was right about the bouncing too, for fuck's sake!
If you repeat this multiple times, you get the rope around the pipe with the ball returning to the entrance every time. All that's left is to remove the ball and tie a hook to throw it onto the pipe.
Alright. What fucking time did Mitch do this? Because this would have taken him forever if it's executed this way. So, okay, he didn't attach her body at first. Fine, I get it. I can see how you could do it like that. But this would take him a while. But I was right about the fact that it had to bounce back towards the door. That would make sense why all the fucking residue was there. Lanuge, what is this crackhead shit? What is it?
But the culprit probably faced something that wasn't part of their plan here. The rubber ball burst because of the pressure from the rebounding of the wall.
I was right, he threw it too fucking hard.
It spilled its contents all over the wall and the floor, which is still left at the scene. This is how the culprit tied the rope without going inside the girls' restroom. The hook and the rubber ball were used to make it look like it was done from the inside.
Oh, so that must have been the stinky liquid on the wall.
Well said, Yuki. I agree with you.
Well, if our ultimate police officer says so, I guess he's right.
Yeah, okay, even Teria had a hard time following that one, and I just... It's not that it's completely inconceivable, but it's not the first fucking thing I would have thought for this case's direction to go. But sure, whatever, Mitch. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That was whack.
Everyone, did you notice something after getting to this point?
Notice what?
Think closely. We were talking about the possibility of a man being the culprit. But don't you think it should be the opposite after going through all this? Opposite? My explanation involving the hook and the ball was to prove that it's possible for a guy to be the culprit. But if the opposite of that is true...
That only a guy could be the culprit.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
culprit is a man.
yeah, a woman wouldn't have needed to do any of this.
Yeah, like, if it was a girl, all you'd need to do is you'd need something to stand on, and then you'd have to do that.
That's right. We were going in the opposite direction ever since.
Opposite direction? What are you talking about?
We thought that the culprit was a girl, so we thought of a way to hang Kyoka from outside the restroom based on the assumption, what if a guy could be the culprit as well? Turns out that wasn't the case. It's very unlikely that the culprit is among the girls. The killer is definitely a man.
What? It wasn't me.
We weren't pointing at you, Teria. You're too baby. Hey, how so? Why is it suddenly like that? Defensive much?
Think about what we just went through. The culprit undoubtedly used the hook and the rubber ball to connect the rope to the ceiling. Now, suppose the culprit was a woman. Would there be a reason for her to use such a complicated measure when she could have simply stepped inside and tied the rope directly?
That makes sense. It looks like the culprit had to do it without going inside the restroom.
Furthermore, if the culprit was a woman and had to use the hook or rubber ball for some reason, he would have been able to clean the stain on the wall afterwards. Right, as I mentioned before, the culprit probably didn't expect the rubber ball to burst. To clean the liquid off the wall, they needed to get inside the restroom.
But they couldn't. Because guys can't enter the girls' restroom.
Yep. I can't say it with absolute certainty, but it's the most reasonable explanation we can think of. There would be no reason for the culprit to intentionally leave traces in the murder scene. I mean, the liquid stain on the wall was a big hint for figuring out how the ball was used by the culprit.
Aha! That automatically gives us girls an alibi, right? Plus, even better, Yuki, Teria, Haruhiko, Mitsuhiro, Tsurugi, Kenji, and Kakeru. We know one of them's gotta be it.
I mean, Kakeru is kinda unlikely.
Extremely, because he has an alibi. Hold on. What if the culprit was a woman and tried to make us think this way all along? There's no reason! Why go through all the extra effort when you're on a time limit?
Yeah.
Because first of all, the time of death's 6 o'clock. All right, they didn't discover the body until 8. They don't have that much time to move Maki all the way to the restroom, do all that shit, and then like get off scot-free after getting rid of the shit used in order to do all this. No. Dumbass. Anyway.
I highly doubt it. The reason the culprit hanged Kyoka in the first place was to make us think that a woman did it.
Ha! So it had nothing to do with disguising it as a suicide from the start.
Indeed, everything was to lead us to thinking that a woman is the culprit. In other words, the culprit wanted us to think that way. So they wouldn't become a suspect. Oh, because the culprit himself was a man, everything's connected now.
I found it strange to find the rope on Miss Maki's neck being too loose. In retrospect, I see that was the case because the culprit didn't intend to make it look like a suicide at all.
I can't believe it took this long for you to reach that point.
What's up with you talking like you already knew all of this stuff?
Because I already knew.
What?
I already have everything worked out. Who the culprit is, why they killed, anything you could possibly think of. Eh?
What? And you just stood there in silence when you had all the answers?
How many times will I have to repeat this? I have absolutely no reason to help you out.
Mekaru, this isn't a competition. If you don't share what you know, and we end up voting for the wrong person, you're going to die too.
Of course, I'll share my knowledge when it gets to that.
Togami Core.
Yeah, definitely.
But even without me, you still have Tsurugi Kinjo over there to help you. And useless, you're getting pretty close to the truth too. I was actually surprised. Perhaps you weren't completely useless after all, monkey.
She changed his nickname!
I mean, it's an improvement.
It is an improvement. Oh my god, I love her.
Ha ha ha.
Jeez, she's real smug. Well, she's always been like that. We should ignore what she says and keep moving on.
Sure, I believe we left off from saying the culprit is a man.
I wonder who it is.
Wow, she must be really excited by the tables turning.
Although we know now that the killer is among the men, we still need to specify one person out of 7. Is there any kind of clue to narrow down the list? Well, if Miss Mikado was able to work out the culprit's identity, there must be a clue pointing to the killer somewhere.
The problem is, we don't know what a clue is.
Tsurugi, a little help here? Like, something that can nail the killer?
I do have something in mind, but you shouldn't rely on me for everything. All of you should figure the case out by yourself, and understand the reason behind the final verdict.
Why? Why are Tsurugi and Mikaru like similar enough energy where they're just like, we're gonna bully you guys for a little bit? Like, fuck! That's really funny to me. I don't know why.
I mean,
Kyoka?
he isn't wrong.
He isn't wrong. Like, they do need to use critical thinking skills. Because, like, I think he's doing it in the manner of, you know, what if one of us dies? You have to be able to figure it out by yourself. Which I kind of respect it if it's that approach, but also just like, wow, guys!
The Great Silence.
Hey, y'all. Any ideas about the culprit?
I mean, I know who it is, but I don't know
Yeah,
yet
me
how
too.
to prove
I'm
it.
just like, it's fucking Mitch. It's gotta be fucking Mitch. There's no one else among the guys who makes sense.
Well, nothing in particular, I suppose.
The pieces of evidence which we didn't use yet are the nameplates and the antique store.
Yeah. So,
We're almost there. We know that the culprit is one of the guys. Just to remind y'all, it's not me.
We believe you.
we believe you, baby boy. It's okay. You can stop talking for a while.
That reaction is making you look even more suspicious.
Kisen, please don't bully him.
Just like you from a while ago.
What'd you just say?
Ugh, I'm sorry.
Wasn't it out of character, Kizuna?
Since most of you seem to be having trouble with this, let me suggest going around. How about we all think of something else first?
Such as...
Don't you want to know why Kyoka died? Why Kyoka had to die?
Of course we do. Kyoka was always full of spirit and a nice friend to us. She didn't deserve to die.
To begin with, 2 people were indirectly involved in Kyoka's death.
2 people? Are you implying that there are 2 culprits?
No, I'm not saying those 2 took part in murder, but they heavily influenced the events leading up to Kyoka's death. The point is, Kyoka died as a result of someone's mistake, and the culprit's misjudgment that stemmed from it. I have a feeling Haru will have a hard time.
Mistake and misjudgment?
I need the help of a certain someone to explain this. Yuki, could you help me out?
They are both tag teaming him like Byakuya. Jesus!
Yeah, are these 3 the trial point getters?
Who knows?
Me? Do you remember the conversation we had in the hallway? The one over the nameplates. Oh, you mean that one? Yeah, you told me then that you know who caused that change to the nameplates. I don't have knowledge regarding this matter, so I would like for you to provide us the context.
Hello? I've got 0 ideas on what the 2 of you were talking about.
Oh, okay, I'll explain it to everyone. Yesterday, while all of us were in shock after Monokuma showed us the motive, there was a minor incident that happened. The people who know about that incident are me, Haru, Satsuki, and finally Kyoka.
Huh? They don't look like they know it, though.
Haru, Satsuki, did you forget what happened before nighttime yesterday? With the nameplates?
Oh, that.
Oh, you mean the thing with Haru's triple spin?
Yeah, would you mind explaining to us what happened back then? I think there's something you didn't know about it. I'll tell you when we get there.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Another non-stop debate. Jeez. At least it's a lot of that in the first trial, it seems, because it's not that bad.
Last night, me and Satsuki and Kyoka were hanging out together to distract ourselves from the motive. Then I accidentally fell down and broke the nameplates.
Teehee, it was really funny to watch. Triple spin.
When I was freaking out over damaging school property, Monokuma showed up and said that he won't punish me since it was an accident and he left me with a new set of nameplates.
He told Haru to put the new nameplates back where they belong. Right, Blaze. God damn it.
You got it. That almost was bad, but you got it.
No, Satsuki, there's something wrong with what you just said.
Ayo, what's wrong?
Although Haru did put the nameplates back, he didn't know that he made a mistake while doing so.
Yuki, that's...
He forgot where the 2 nameplates originally were, so he put the new ones in the wrong place.
What? He forgot about something that was right in front of him seconds ago?
Not quite, honey.
Oh, he went to the restroom before putting them back, so I think he got confused somewhere in the middle.
Okay. I get how a bunch of nah. Anyway.
Hmm.
I get this way when I flub a line that bad, it like
Hmm.
upsets me. Anyway. Okay. I get how much of an idiot Haruhiko is. How is that related to Kyoka's murder?
That would be because the two nameplates Haruhiko had to replace belonged to Tsurugi Kinjo and Kyoka Maki. Right, Yuki? Yeah, right. Kyoka's room was next to mine and Tsurugi's was next to hers. But because Haru thought the other way around, the nameplates on the doors were switched.
Mr. Kobashikawa, was it your intent to do so?
Anyway, Haru, shouldn't you already know? We talked about the nameplates being switched when we were investigating.
Well, I did, but I just wanted to avoid any unnecessary suspicion. Avoid suspicion? Don't tell me you're the culprit, Haruhiko.
No.
Nope.
No, honey. He is too baby.
Way too baby.
No!
He's way too baby. Like, he can't. He's not capable. Anyway.
No, I'm not. I swear. This is exactly why I didn't want to say anything.
Why would we think you're suspicious? It's just a couple of nameplates. I don't think that they're that much related to Kyoka's death anyway.
Yes, they are related. Much related, in fact. No one would care to explain. Now would you care to explain what that means to us? I said earlier that two people were connected to the murder. One of them is Haruhiko for switching the nameplates, and the other person is me. Huh?
Mr. Kinjo, you have an indirect connection with the murder of Mrs. Maki? May I ask you to elaborate on that?
It's true. Let's see, where should I start? How about we all get a grasp on the culprit's intentions first? If things went as the culprit originally planned, the person to have a portrait there would have been me. That statement sounds somewhat far-fetched. How come you were to die instead of Kyoka? Do you remember the torn note that Yuki read to us a while ago? I was able to comprehend what the culprit was aiming for after seeing that note. Kyoka got that note from the culprit and headed to the laundry room at the designated time. There she was assaulted and murdered by the culprit. Everyone's clear on this, right? Then, let me ask. How do you think Kyoka got the note?
How she got the note? Well, maybe one of us casually handed it over to her?
Yeah, right.
But Mitch, why do that instead of saying it casually? Or, like, why do that? Why would she knowingly meet over that? Okay, I can see, like, specifically, like, I feel like she would be like, I don't know why you're asking me about this. Like, the person that would want this information the most is Tsurugi. Because he is a cop, and he wants to get everyone out of there, and he wants to counter Monokuma the most. He's the one who would be the most drawn to this specific situation on this note, about there being no camera in one of the rooms. But Tsurugi's smart enough to where he's like, nah, I knew there were cameras. But he didn't get the note. She did. And she had trouble investigating on other times. So the only reason I would see her being interested in, like, going to the meeting place in general is the fact that, like, maybe me knowing this would get people to be nicer to me about the fact that I've been slipping up on other investigations. That's the only thing I can see here. Kyoka wouldn't have known that the person who gave the note would come after her back then.
From whom? Where? How? Did any of you ever see Kyoka getting a note from someone?
No. Besides, there wasn't any time for that. After we got out of the audio-visual room, Kyoka stayed with me and Satsuki until she went into her room for the night.
Wait, then Kyoka got a note between 10 p.m. last night and her time of death, which is 6 a.m. in the morning. Right. Kyoka went inside her room as soon as it became nighttime. She couldn't have gotten the note while talking face to face with someone. And that leaves us with one possibility. She got the note while she was inside her room.
But you can't go into someone else's room unless you got the key or the owner's permission.
Yes, but there was another way to give her the note without opening the door.
What? But that'd be like magic. Really? How?
Dude.
Buddy. Pal. You're not my friend, but fuck you. No one's that dumb! Not in this group, anyway. There's at least 3 who'd be able to counter your argument there.
A way to slip a note inside the room without opening the door or being seen by the owner. It should be pretty simple, something that any clever kid could think of. I mean, just slipping it down under the door.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yep, we're fucked.
Oh no.
This is the minigame I was talking about! Yeah, there is a Hangman's Gambit in DRA, and I was hoping it would not show up first chapter. Was praying, actually, and I have been proven wrong. Get ready to cut out a bunch of shit!
So, let's think about it. If I stay calm and keep brainstorming, it will come to my mind. Yeah. Let's put together pieces of evidence that flash by your mind. The bottom of the screen will show parts of your target word of a phrase with spaces in between. Find which letters would go into the blank space and shoot them in place in their position. The letters will move around randomly across the screen. If there are multiple blank spaces, you must fill in the leftover space first.
Okay. So I'm gonna try something, and I'm hoping it's going to help. The problem is, I don't know if it's 1 word or 2. Or 3. It could be a phrase, so I'm gonna try and figure it out in Korean, and it could be wrong. Okay, I'm gonna see... We're gonna see if what I figured out here works. And that's if this is how they phrase the fucking answer. Oh, buddy. Because I know all of the Hangman's Gambit bits are in Korean. Wow, I opened the wrong tab.
I must say...
We're gonna try that. And we're gonna see if that works.
I'll see, okay.
Because that translates to under the door, which is what I assume that the answer is.
Once you choose the correct letter for every blank space, the word will be complete and so will be the minigame.
We'll know by the number of letters, too. Because there's only 3 characters, if this is right. Huh? Someone translated it. Fuck.
Gap.
Gap. Okay, I see. Man, who translated Hangman's Gambit? What?
I mean, this is the first demo chapter, which is made by the people who want to remake the game also.
Okay, then yeah, Hangman's Gambit will be translated for this, but not going forward. Oof!
Alright.
Okay, we'll just have to... Going forward, we'll just have to think pretty hard about what the question is before going in, and I can try and mock translate it.
Yeah. Oh jeez, and I am thinking about the fact how I even have trouble in Hangman's Gambit in the English versions of the game.
Yeah, but that's basically how the movements work in Hangman's Gambit, like that's correct. They're just kind of like jittery and they slowly show up. So it basically works exactly like that. It's just the hitbox on them is a bit worse, so it looks like they polished a hitbox on the demo version. Excellent. But yeah.
That's it, the gap. Even when the door is fully closed, there's a gap between the bottom of the door and the threshold. That's large enough to slip a note through.
So, after nighttime, the culprit left the note inside Mrs. Markey's room through the gap?
Right, there would be no one out in the hallway after nighttime, and Kyoko would still be awake. Adding a message like, "Don't exit your room" to keep Monokuma from noticing would have been easily dealt with the chance of Kyoka seeing the note coming in and opening the door. That way, the sender won't have to reveal himself while still getting the message across. This inequality of information between the culprit and Kyoka made her more vulnerable to deception.
You know, it was pretty bold of him to do that. What if Kyoka didn't show up or brought other people with her?
The note probably requested her to come alone to prevent such occurrences. Likely coupled with a reason she won't be able to ignore. From the fact it mentioned the absence of cameras, it must have been something Monokuma shouldn't know about. A way out, for instance. Would any of you refuse to go if someone offers to tell you a way to escape?
Well, I'd... go, yes. True, I would have gone as well.
Okay, the culprit sneaked the note into her room. I get that, but how exactly is it you and Haru's fault?
Think closely. Most people here didn't know about Haruhiko switching the nameplates until it was said in a trial or noticed it after the murder occurred. Which means, at the time of the murder, the culprit was unaware of the fact either.
Oh!
I see. For that reason, you considered yourself and Haruhiko to be at fault. For those of you who haven't gotten it yet, we're saying that the culprit killed Kyoka because of a confusion.
Confusion?
What? So it ties back to what Tsurugi said earlier. Right, I think I know it now, the indirect influence Haru had over Kyoka's death. Haru switched the nameplates by mistake, and the culprit slipped the note inside the room without knowing they were switched. Then, the culprit intended target was... Yep, Tsurugi.
Tsurugi Kinjo.
That's right, the culprit never intended to murder Kyoka. The real person he wanted to kill was Tsurugi.
That makes sense. The killer saw Tsurugi's nameplate on the door and left the note there, but the room was actually Kyoka's. Does that mean that Tsurugi would have died if Haruhiko didn't switch the nameplates?
Yes, that's why I said Haruhiko and I are indirectly caused Kyoka's death.
Kyoka, it's all because I was an idiot. It's all because I was dumb enough to mix up those stupid nameplates.
Calm down, Haruhiko. It's not your fault. Even if you put the nameplates correctly, Tsurugi would have been in danger.
I'm a policeman. It is my duty to ensure everyone's safety.
He's just
Yeah.
like, I would have been fine dying. God damn it.
Yet I was careless enough to let Kyoka die. I should have died rather than failing in my duty like this. Dude.
Buddy. Pal.
Please don't say that. Every person's life must be treated with extreme regard.
That is why I cannot forgive this culprit. Not that murderers ever deserved forgiveness, but him killing one of our close friends was absolutely unforgivable.
Yeah, I feel the same too. But how am I supposed to take that one of us is cold-blooded killer?
I can believe it.
I can believe it. It's a DR game. I can absolutely believe it.
So?
What do you mean by so?
Can't you think now's the time to say it? You know, the identity of the culprit.
Culprit?
Didn't you solve everything you need to? The fact that the culprit is a man, the way he hanged the body without entering the restroom, and how and why he called Kyokamaki and killed her. Isn't the culprit fairly obvious at this point? Well, we did figure out most of the major details. I don't believe we ever brought up that matter before. Jeez. You guys still don't know? How long are you going to make me wait here? I think my legs are starting to hurt.
How about you say it yourself if you know so much?
Why should I? There's people like Tsurugi Kinjo out there anyway.
I fuck. What a queen.
Yeah. Tsurugi? Do you know who the culprit is? Yes, I do. Actually, I already knew who it was, well before the trial started. Same.
Yeah. He's not subtle. He's very loud.
Yeah.
Woohoo! That's the ultimate police.
But what I thought back then was more like an educated guess. Now that I went through these discussions in a trial, I'm confident with what I got.
Man, that's epic. How'd you know? I still don't have a clue.
I'll try to make it easy for everyone to understand. So let's go back to when we were talking about the hook and the rubber ball. You all know how the culprit used them, right? Of course! The culprit tied the rope to the rubber ball and sent it around the pipe a few times, then threw the hook on to secure the rope. All was to make it seem like it was done from the inside. The rubber ball was the decisive factor in my deduction of the culprit. Do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember Yuki explaining earlier that the rubber ball burst because it couldn't overcome the pressure? It was probably due to the accumulated damage from the repeated collisions with the wall. And here's the question: how much pressure do you think is needed to pop a rubber ball?
Well, it will depend on which kind you're talking about, but probably a lot.
He fucking kicked the shit out of it.
Yeah, he did.
Yep, I'll tell you something. That pops too easily.
Okay, I'm rereading the grammar now and I see it. Alright.
Yep, I'll tell you. Something that pops too easily will be worthless as a bouncy ball.
Right, normal levels of pressure can't leave a single scratch on it, much less make it burst. But the rubber ball still burst, just by bouncing a few times off the wall.
That's kinda strange. Was the rubber ball old?
No, bud.
Nope. When I saw the rubber ball, it was still glossy and shining all over despite its condition. I dare say it was brand new. I'm not done yet, though I didn't place emphasis on this earlier. Think about it. Would it be easy to make a ball go over the pipe, through the little space between it and the ceiling, bounce off the wall, and roll back towards the entrance? Especially when the culprit couldn't afford to fail even once because he was a man.
I believe it would be a challenge. I don't possess the skills for it in the first place, even if I did. I won't be able to do it because of the pressure.
Fully agreed. The culprit chose to take that challenge and succeeded nonetheless. It wasn't just a matter of guts. He had the confidence and ability to assure his success.
Which also would strike out Kakeru
Yep.
from before going into the trial because no one had seen how confident he is in the courtroom. So that immediately pins Mitch because he is overly confident and cocky.
Hmm.
In short, the culprit has the ability to throw a ball exactly where he wants to.
It's more than the accuracy. Not only did the culprit have precise control over where to land the ball, but also the strength to burst it open.
But I don't think anyone out of the guys look like they have that much strength and accuracy. Judging by his muscles, maybe Kokeru does? Nope.
With my daily muscle training, it would be certainly possible for me to burst a rubber ball with my strength. However, just to be clear, I cannot be the culprit. I cannot even score a goal right below the basket.
No sportsman,
Yeah.
like no athletic ability, just benching. Mans can just bench. I see.
Then how did the killer pull off those tricks? Was he was he secretly the ultimate baseball player?
Not quite.
No, I think you guys are missing something. I thought the culprit made the rubber ball go over the pipe, not through it.
Yep.
Huh? How can you make the ball go over the pipe without throwing it?
Points to the ultimate striker.
Hmm.
Points to the ultimate striker, but louder.
Wait, I think there is a way.
How do you even do that? Superpowers?
No.
No, you can kick it with your foot.
She knows. She knows now after
Yeah.
saying that.
Oh, right. Rubber balls are small enough to hold with one hand, so I was naturally thinking the culprit threw it.
Huh? Hold on a sec. Kicking with your foot? I knew I had to answer when I reached that point. It seems like some of you got there too. If what I'm thinking is right, the culprit is... But why? Why did he...
Gah! I'm still not getting it. Who was it? Can someone just tell me the answer?
Oh, Teruya.
Oh, beloved.
Yuki, you know who it is, right? Why are you okay. Dude. The other stuff
He really wants to give Yuki the spotlight here. Good God.
Like, isn't this like your job right now? Huh? Looking at your facial expression, I got the feeling that you finally reached the truth. You helped me out a lot with the hook and the nameplates, so how about you say it for us? The mastermind behind all of this. Kyoka's murderer.
Yuki.
Tsurugi's right, I know the culprit. I really did figure it out. There's only one person who could have done everything we talked about before. I want to convince myself that I'm wrong, but this is something I have to do. I must do this.
It's time. Rest in bitch, Mitch!
Be gone, thought!
Bye, Thoticus!
The person that came up with this plan and murdered Kyoka. Mitch, it was you, right?
What? Bye, bitch!
Suspended?
Yeah.
Interesting. Save!
You get a save! Yay!
Hallelujah.
Don't tell me this is like a mid-trial save. Hello? No. What the hell?
I don't think we have enough truth bullets for anything other than doing the final push.
Yeah. I think it's just a final push based like thing, probably. Because I'm like, what else?
And I think we should end the part here.
Oh, absolutely. That was so long.
It's been 2 hours.
I knew the trials were long in one, but I promise you they have nothing on fucking SDRA2 trials. They are so long. Don't worry, there's like saves between certain minigames though, thank fuck, because otherwise you would lose your mind during SDRA2 trials. They are so long. Like 3 Oh my god! Chapter 3's awful with how long it is.
Yeah, alright.
Mhm.
We'll continue this next time. So,
Yep, see y'all later.
until then, goodbye.
Bye!